What if the place you call home slowly turns into your biggest nightmare? Not because of rent, not because of money, but because of people. Imagine living in a compound where every single day feels like a battle, where peace is non-existent, respect is optional, and one woman controls everything like she owns not just the building, but your life. That's exactly what the story delivers: raw, chaotic, and painfully realistic. From the very beginning, we are thrown into a noisy, tension-filled compound where arguments are as common as breathing. The landlady is not just strict, she is overbearing, aggressive, and constantly looking for someone to attack. From cleanliness to personal lifestyle, nothing escapes her criticism. She doesn't just enforce rules, she imposes fear. And then, into this chaos walks Ibuka, a calm, quiet young man who simply needs a place to stay. He doesn't come with trouble. He doesn't look for problems, but somehow, trouble finds him almost immediately. From the moment he steps into the compound, you can already feel it. He doesn't belong in that kind of environment. He is too peaceful, too composed, and in a place like that, being quiet doesn't protect you. It makes you a target. The landlady quickly picks on him. She mocks his appearance, questions his financial capability, and constantly reminds him of his struggles. It's not just about rent anymore. It becomes personal. Every word she throws at him is meant to break him down. And sadly, no one speaks up. Everyone else in the compound has learned one thing: survival means silence. They've adapted to the toxicity. They endure the insults because they believe speaking up will only make things worse. But then, someone breaks that pattern. A bold, fearless young woman steps in. Unlike the others, she refuses to stay quiet. She challenges the landlady, calls out her behavior, and stands up for Ibuka even when it puts her at risk. And just like that, the story shifts, because in a place where silence is the norm, courage becomes dangerous. Now, the landlady has a new target. As the tension builds, we begin to see that this is more than just a landlord-tenant conflict. There are deeper issues at play: pain, insecurity, and unresolved past wounds. The landlady herself is not just wicked for no reason. She hides behind control. She creates fake stories about her daughter's wealthy life, constantly bragging about things that don't even exist. It becomes clear that she's trying to cover up something, a reality she doesn't want others to see. And then comes one of the biggest turning points in the story. Ibuka is not just a random tenant. He has a past, directly connected to the landlady's daughter. They were once in love, but that relationship didn't end because of lack of love. It ended because of pressure, pride, and the landlady's obsession with status and wealth. She couldn't accept a man who wasn't financially stable, so she pushed him out of her daughter's life. And that decision destroyed everything. Ibuka lost his relationship, his stability, and eventually his livelihood. Life didn't go easy on him. He made mistakes, faced setbacks, and ended up in a situation where he had to start all over again. Now, imagine facing the same person who contributed to your downfall every single day. That's the reality he's living in. But what makes Ibuka's character powerful is not anger, it's restraint. He doesn't fight back with insults. He doesn't try to prove anything aggressively. Instead, he chooses peace. Even when he's humiliated, he holds on to his dignity, and that's rare. On the other hand, the fearless young woman who supports him also carries her own pain. She's not just strong for no reason. Her strength comes from her past. Rejected by her family, forced to survive on her own, she understands what it means to struggle. That's why she can't stand injustice. That's why she speaks up. As their connection grows, it becomes something deeper than just friendship. It's built on shared pain, understanding, and mutual respect. In the middle of chaos, they become each other's source of strength. But of course, peace never lasts in a place like that. The landlady begins to lose control. Her authority is being challenged. Her lies are slowly being exposed. And when someone who thrives on control starts losing it, they become even more dangerous. She increases rents unfairly, creates unnecessary rules, and even goes as far as humiliating tenants publicly. At some point, it stops being about discipline. It becomes pure oppression. The compound turns into a battlefield. Arguments intensify, secrets come out, emotions run high. And then the story takes another emotional turn. We discover that the fearless young woman also has a hidden past connected to wealth and family rejection. Her struggles are deeper than anyone imagined. She's not just fighting the landlady, she's fighting her own history. At this point, the story becomes more than just entertainment. It becomes a reflection of real life. Because in many communities, people face similar struggles: toxic environments, power abuse, financial hardship, and emotional trauma. This movie doesn't exaggerate reality, it mirrors it, and that's what makes it powerful. It forces you to ask questions. How long should someone endure toxic treatment just to survive? At what point does silence become weakness? And is walking away a sign of failure or strength? Every character represents something real. The landlady represents unchecked power and insecurity. Ibuka represents resilience and quiet strength. The fearless woman represents courage and defiance. Together, they create a story that is intense, emotional, and unforgettable. By the time you get to the end, one thing becomes clear. Strength is not always loud. Sometimes it's in staying calm when everything around you is chaotic. Sometimes it's in choosing dignity over revenge. And sometimes it's in finding the courage to start again. This movie is not just something you watch and forget. It stays with you. Because deep down, you realize this is someone's real life. Thank you so much for watching this review all the way to the end. I truly appreciate your time and support. If this story touched you, made you think, or even got you emotional, then you definitely need to experience the full movie yourself. Trust me, the drama, the tension, and the powerful moments hit even harder when you watch everything unfold. Head over right now to Sandra OKUNZUWA TV on YouTube to watch the complete movie and see how the story truly ends. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing movie reviews and updates. Your support means everything.